especially when you're dealing with such high-leveled boxers. That said, we now move on to the third bout of the evening. Eugen Burhard, 24 from Germany, out of the red corner. And the Uzbeki boxer out of the blue corner, Fazliddin Gaibnazarov. David Lorado from the USA is the referee for this contest. Castro, Zooks, Tadic, Maine, and Kennedy are the judges. We look at the resume of German Eugen Burhard. He was in the 2009 AIBA World Championships in Milan, took 7th place. 2010 European Championships in Moscow, took 3rd. 2011 German RSA dual match 1. He beat Lutando Naikaya with a score of 25-3. And he also took 3rd place in the Chemistry Cup in Halle, Germany. So, Eugen Burhard, no stranger to this sport of amateur boxing. Fazliddin Gaibnazarov from Uzbekistan, well, in 2010, he took 1st at the Sidney Jackson Memorial Tournament in Uzbekistan. He took 2nd at the Papanchenko Memorial Tournament in Moscow. He also took 2nd this year at the Chemistry Cup in Halle, as well as getting 3rd place at the Makar Mazai Memorial Tournament in Mariupol, Ukraine. So both boxers well prepared for this bout. Winner takes not all, but certainly takes a lot. A chance to London. Rather a ticket to London and a chance to proceed in this tournament, at least at tomorrow's quarterfinal matchups and perhaps beyond. And both boxers looking intent on landing the first flurry. Again, we have Burhard from Germany in the red corner, Gaibnazarov from Uzbekistan in the blue. Burhard, the taller boxer. And as they both stand toe-to-toe and do the delicate dance that we love to see between two boxers, who's going to make the first mistake? Who's going to be able to capitalize on the other's first mistake? These are the questions we will soon have answered. Burhard throws a right hand, gets blocked. And they lock up in the center. Gaibnazarov throwing pretty much short punches, range finders, trying to find a way to get inside the longer armed Burhard. Right hand thrown by Burhard falls short of its mark. He threw that one downstairs to no avail. And a left hand by Gaibnazarov. That one looks like it may have touched him on the chin, him being Burhard. Yeah, again, the shorter boxer, it's the age-old story. The shorter boxer needs to get inside. The longer boxer is well advised to stay on the outside and use that jab. How does a shorter boxer get in there? Well, for one, with footwork. For two, with good body movement, bobbing and weaving. Avoiding the jab, which will no doubt be coming as a defensive mechanism by the longer boxer, using the bobbing and weaving technique, getting his feet underneath him to get closer, to put his chest on the opponent, and to start ripping shots to the body. Uppercuts are always a nice effective punch for a shorter boxer because the area that he's trying to hit is at a lower distance height-wise. He's not trying to hit the face, he's really trying to hit underneath the chin. So he gets an additional perhaps 6 inches or so less for which his punch needs to travel for maximum impact. And now Burhard pushes his man off, looks to the referee who separates the action for just a brief moment, and Gaibnazarov continues to move forward. Nice double right hand chopping hook by Burhard in the clinch. That's a good thing for him to do as a taller boxer. That's normally the domain of the shorter boxer, but nobody apparently told that to Burhard. And round one in the books, and it's a score of 2-0 for Germany. See some action from round number one as Burhard continues to chop away at his opponent. Now Burhard more on the retreating end. Uzbeki boxer down by a couple. Going to need to keep the pressure on his man and not let Burhard stay away. Needs to cut off the ring and use his feet. Use his feet. Did I say use his feet? That's what Gaibnazarov needs to do to get inside. Not his hands, his feet. Most people focus on, shouldn't say most people, some people focus on the hands in boxing because that's the natural focal point of the action. That's where our eyes are drawn to, is to see the boxer's hands, because the sport is about hands, at least punching and not kicking. But that doesn't mean the feet don't play a part. On the contrary, the feet play an extremely important part, not only for balance, especially for power. That's where the power derives from, through the ground, up the shoe, up the leg. It travels into the hip region and through the shoulder, and that's where the power gets generated. But also, it's for placement. It's for body placement. The boxer needs to use his foot, especially the shorter boxer. He needs to use his feet to get inside, the closer, or get on top of the chest, rather, of the taller boxer, so that he could land those punches. He can't land them from outside, and he can't get in there with his hands. His hands are too short. So he needs to use his feet. Gaibnazarov needs to use his feet now, because he's halfway through the second round. He's down on points, and he can't wait till the third round to start catching up. It'll be too late. And Burhard, to his credit, is going to do what he does. He'll continue to tie up the smaller man when he gets inside. He'll continue to box from the outside when he can, and try and skate to a victory here, which he'd be well advised to do. If Gaibnazarov is going to let him get away with it, well then why not? This is the World Championships. Everyone's trying to get to London. Burhard's no different. And they lock up again. And notice how when they do get into a clinch, the seconds, the ever so valuable seconds, start to tick away on that clock. And they go and they go and they go. And Gaibnazarov cannot afford to lose valuable seconds. He needs to be scoring during that time, not clinching. Now, if he's going to throw punches during the clinch, well, that's fine. But he's got to do that. He can't just sit there and wait for the referee to separate him. Bad and inefficient use of time and energy for Gaibnazarov. There's an interesting chopping, open-handed punch using the inner part of the glove, not proper, and the referee cautioned Burhard for that. Now Burhard is pushed into the corner, round number 2, as well in the books. And now, with a score tied in the second round of 2-2, we see that Burhard maintains his 2-point edge going into the third round 4-2. So kudos to Gaibnazarov for keeping the second round even. Unfortunately, he needs to do more in round 3. he needs to actually turn the tide on Burhard. And there's only one way to do that, and that's with a lot of punches. Get in there with his feet, start ripping shots to the body, score points. 2 points is not that hard to get in this sport. You could get them on one clean combination punch. How you could get 3 if you bloody throw a 3-punch combination with all of those punches landing cleanly. As I said, he'll have to throw clean punches and combinations if he's going to be able to score that efficiently. And he'll have to do it soon because precious time is clicking away. And now Burhard has spun Gaibnazarov around. His back was to him. The referee broke that up. It's round number 3. 2:22 is the time on the clock. Gaibnazarov, I don't understand why he would do that. I don't understand why he would just wait. And there it is. Finally, the referee is going to issue a caution. And these are the 2 valuable points that we were talking about. Gaibnazarov needed a 2-punch clean combination, or he needed a warning against the German. And that's what he just got, which could mean that this is very much a close match here in the final 2 minutes of round 3. For all intents and purposes, this could very well be a tie score as of right now. Now Gaibnazarov needs to continue to apply the pressure. He needs to put it all on the line. He can't wait for Burhard to lock him up and let the clock go. Burhard, from his perspective, can no longer just continue to try and lock up the smaller boxer and stay on the outside and skate to a victory, because it's just too close. He cannot take the chance. Too many boxers have made the wrong assumption that they were up on the scorecard just to find out they were wrong. So Burhard needs to really start to apply the pressure himself. He needs to start using his jab. As you see there, he needs to keep his distance. He needs to not lock up. He already got a warning for the locking up that you see right there. He now needs to stay on the outside, use that long jab, score from the outside, followed up with a big right hand, stay out of the harm's way of the littler Gaibnazarov. But he continues to go inside like that. He's risking a lot. There's too much at stake to execute a poor game plan, which that would seem to be. I am Castle calling the action here at ringside in the Haydar Aliyev Sports Complex here in downtown, beautiful downtown Baku, Azerbaijan, where the Azerbaijani Boxing Federation and AIBA have done a wonderful job putting this show on for us. There's a lot of organizational logistics that come into play here, and they've pulled it off seamlessly so far. 30 seconds left here in the 3rd and final round. And Gaibnazarov continues to use his head to try and push through. The referee says, issues a caution, and now, with under 20 seconds, this is really where it comes down to. This is where champions are made, sometimes in the final moments. One big punch. I don't know that Gaibnazarov has it in him to score with a knockout, but perhaps a couple of clean flurries at the end. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for him. And now we will have to see how the judges have this. As Eugen Burhard gets his headgear removed. And the gloves come off of Fazliddin Gaibnazarov from Uzbekistan. The American referee is going to check both their wraps, make sure their hands are good. We're going to get that score in just a moment here. Who's going to London? Who's going to the quarterfinals tomorrow? And who's going home? Computer has tallied up the scores. And he has done it. The Uzbekistani boxer so happy. He lifts Eugen Burhard off by a 1-point margin. Fazliddin Gaibnazarov, having been down in rounds 1 and 2, he gets the warning to his benefit in the third, coupled with some aggressive, persistent action. And look at that. Fazliddin Gaibnazarov has shown what a little persistence and a lot of confidence can do. He's taken down the bigger German by 1 point in the third and final round, and kudos to him. He's going to London. The Uzbekis add another notch to their belt. We will see him tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Congratulations, Fazliddin Gaibnazarov.